All right. So once again, I'm Catherine Sempeva, and I'm working with ladies in waiting for marriage. We pray together, believe together. One of the things that I help many of them do is get clarity, how to date better, all that. So you can go to YouTube. Those who don't know what I do, you can check. So I was saying one of the reasons that I felt it's important for us to have a money masterclass is because last year I worked with about 200 ladies in waiting in the boot camps, those who know about the boot camps. And I realized that some ladies were stuck in bad relationships, in situationships, also were making poor decisions because of money. The lack of it, not having enough. So they end up dating for survival. They date men who disregard them. And the only thing is money. So I realized that we have to have this conversation for us to be full, right? Money is important. Money gives you self-esteem. Money gives you choice, even as a woman. And it doesn't have to be billions of money. It's just enough money that can sustain you where you are and to also build the dreams that you want, even as God increases you. So I feel like the money conversation is really, really important. So today we're going to have our first facilitator, who is Miss Nicole Letaro. Very gifted in what she does. She's a career and portfolio coach. She's going to explain what she does a bit better. But I want you to have your pens and your papers and just take notes. Most of the things that she's sharing are quite important. They're quite important, and they can help you increase your income. Today we're going to talk about using skills to increase income so that you can have enough money, so that you can be a woman who has choice. Just don't date anybody because he has money. Just don't enter nonsense relationships because someone has money, where you can have choice, because money is not the only thing you're considering. So let us pray. Father, in the name of Jesus, we thank you so much for this evening. We thank you for how the day has gone, and we thank you for everything that you've enabled us to do. We thank you because you are a great God and you're greatly to be praised. We ask that this evening, as we learn, you'll open our eyes to see the things that we need to know to be able to increase our income. You desire that we prosper. With the same God who tells us that you give us the power to make wealth, you're very passionate about the prosperity of saints. So we ask that even as Miss Nicole opens her mouth this evening to teach us, you'll fill it with good things. I pray that she'll minister to each and every one of us, that we'll get direction, we'll get answers. The things that we've been asking you for, direction we've been asking you for concerning career, concerning making extra income. I pray that, Lord, this evening you answer each and every one of us. Holy Spirit, we invite you that you'll come and you'll be in our midst, Spirit of revelation, that you'll break down everything that will be taught for us to understand, everyone at their own level. We ask that you'll come and you'll take charge of this meeting, and that there will be no distractions, that indeed we shall learn and we shall grow. Give us the grace to be the kind of ladies who not only hear, but we also do, that will not only be hearers, but also doers, because that's where the real transformation is. I pray for my sisters, Lord, that after these 3 days, that they will have the momentum they require for this year, that they will have the direction that they require for this year concerning their finances, and that this year will not leave them the same, that they will evolve, they will do better, they will increase, and that their pockets will be full. We give you praise, we give you glory in Jesus' name. Amen and amen. All right, I'm waiting for...
Thank you so much, Catherine, for the opportunity. I'm so happy and excited to be here. Apologies for some of the glitches that I'm having. I'm not really sure what's happening right now, but I'm so happy to be here. I joined Catherine's bootcamp last year, the November boot camp, and I was really, really so blessed. And I continue to remain blessed even as I continue to watch her content. She's really someone that I look up to, especially when it comes to supporting the single ladies. And she's really doing an amazing work. So when she reached out, I really felt so humbled to have the opportunity to come here and share with you ladies, a few things to just help us improve our finances and as we prepare, for the next phase of our lives. So I'll not take too much time. I'll just proceed with sharing my screen, and you can let me know if you're able to see it. Okay, just let me know if you can see my screen.
I can. The other ladies should tell us. Please, ladies, text if you can in the chat box.
I can also see your screen. You can see, yeah? Okay, great. Okay, let me just put the... Okay, so we're going to be looking at something that is really, really so dear to me. This is a topic that I've really got fond of, especially last year when I transitioned. So currently or previously, I was working as a career coach, and I'll get to introduce myself in a few minutes. And so from being a career coach, I'm now transitioning to become a portfolio coach, which is currently what I'm all about. So in today's session, I'm going to walk you through how exactly to be able to build income from your existing skills. So I'm talking about skills that you already have, and you do not even need to maybe have money, for example, to invest in them for you to begin. So this is what we are going to be learning in today's session. So wherever you have any questions, any clarity that you need, just feel free to drop it in the chat, and I'll definitely answer all your questions when that time comes. So my name is Nicole Letaru. I'm a portfolio career coach, and I have over 6 years of experience working across human resource. So my main background is in HR, and then from HR I transitioned to technical recruitment. So over there I was dealing specifically with tech candidates and handling recruitments, of course, for different clients, the UN, inclusive, UNHCR, and other different organizations that I've worked with. And then from there, I later transitioned to career advisory roles, which is currently what I'm doing. So my career has spanned around 13 different countries. I've been to Asia, I've been to Africa, I've been to Europe. So my experience spans through all of those different spheres. So through recruitment, actually, that is where I later got to develop that love to, want to know more about careers and the future of work. And it's from there that, I started working with so many different clients, helping them with their CVs, with their interviews. A lot of my clients were able to get different opportunities. And now it is through that I'm now transitioning to portfolio coaching, which is what we're going to be looking at today, basically using your skills to expand your different sources of income. So that's a little bit about myself. So as we proceed, I want to just start with a short story of a lady that I previously worked with. And this is a story of someone whom I've known for quite some time. So this is a lady that, she has been working within the corporate sector for like 15 years full time. And she reached a point whereby she was really stuck, in a sense that she wanted to pivot, but she didn't know what to do. She didn't know how exactly to expand to the next level of her career. And so she reached out to me via LinkedIn. That was last year. And she actually reached out to me and told me, that she has been in the entrepreneurship world. She has been doing different things, different businesses. But then somehow, somewhere, some of the businesses were also not like really working out so well. And then also her job was being threatened, because now with also a lot of the challenges that we face in the corporate world, layoffs, all those different things, her sources of income were, getting affected. And so she wanted another way out. And then that is when I introduced her to portfolio coaching, to the portfolio world, and she was able to use her existing skills to be able to help her pivot back without necessarily having to quit her job, but now she was able to use her existing skills to help her build other different sources of income without starting from scratch. So this is one of the stories of one of the ladies that I worked with last year. So as we proceed a bit deeper, I want to first take us back to the history of portfolio careers, because I'm pretty sure right now some of you might even be asking yourselves, but what exactly is she talking about? What is portfolio career? Like, I'm hearing this word maybe for the first time. What exactly does it mean? So portfolio career is something that started way back in the 90s, and it wasn't yet given a term by then. Why? Because long before offices, formal job titles existed, people within our communities were able to sustain their different families and communities using multiple skills. So back then, in the traditional years, a lot of the families, of course, you would find them farming, trading, building, just doing so many different things to be able to help them survive within the community and also thrive. So way back, people were using multiple skills to sustain their families and communities across different generations and cultures, as we have seen. Now, in these current years that we are in, from the 2010s, 2020s, a lot of these skills have now been mainstreamed by the media. And that means even with a lot of transitions that we have seen, the likes of AI emerging, the likes of, COVID coming to challenge how we work, a lot of people now have found themselves in those uncertainties of not wanting to rely on only one source of income. And now people are starting to get comfortable and adapt to multiple sources of income. So by then, a term was not yet specified to it. Not until 1994, there was a man called Charles Handy, who later decided to now modernize that concept by calling it portfolio career, meaning you're using your different skills collectively to now have what we call a portfolio career. And that is what we have right now. So even in the Western world, a lot of people have adapted to this way of working, because the traditional 9 to 5 that we have been depending on is already getting affected by the layoffs, by the so many different challenges. So right now, people can no longer just rely on only one source. And they also want work-life balance. They don't want to be dictated upon maybe by their bosses, being told, here you cannot go on leave. We need you here on site and all of that. But now with a portfolio career, it's almost like you are your own boss, because you're able to control the timings and the places where you want to utilize your skills effectively and still be able to earn from them. Great. So in case if anyone is lost at any time, just feel free to also unmute, and you can always ask me at any one point in time. So as we we approach now 2026, where we currently are and beyond, why does the term portfolio career actually matter? It matters because we live in a world or in times of uncertainty, especially in the employment landscape. And so understanding this concept of portfolio career is now becoming very, very essential in our world today, because people are already looking for other different ways to sustain their finances. So as we have seen, today jobs are very unstable. We have a lot of layoffs, contract work, organizational restructurings are the norm. And that means someone else is dictating your way of life. So meaning if you have your skills, for example, I'll give my own experience. When I was previously working, as a recruiter, at some point we were facing layoffs because a lot of our projects were being cut off. And now, because a lot of the projects that I was working on were being cut off, I was now being left redundant. And so how was I supposed to survive? Till date, from that time, that was 2023 till date, my skills have been able to sustain me in making income. And those are some of the skills that I got from my corporate world without me having to start from scratch. So this is why this concept is becoming more and more essential and needed in our day-to-day life. So I've been talking already a lot about what a portfolio career is, but I've not really explained to you what exactly it is. So before we even go deeper into understanding what a portfolio career is, just from the little information that I've already shared with you, can someone just maybe help me type in the chat and tell me, what do you understand in your own words or your own explanation? What do you understand by the term portfolio career? It doesn't need to be correct or wrong. We are just here to learn. If anyone can just type for me, what do you understand by the term portfolio career? So far from the few slides that I've explained, let me see if there's anything here. Okay. Linda says, I believe it's using your gifts and talents to make money, mainly the soft skills. Okay, great. Pearl says, building a career from your skills. Brenda says, using my different skills collectively to produce more sources of income. Catherine says, using your different skills to make money. Okay, a portfolio career is using your skills to make income. Wow, I love the answers that are already coming in. So as I can see from your answers already, they are all pointing to one thing in common, and that is income. So basically, that is what a portfolio career is. So you can keep the answers coming in, but I love so far our thought process. So I can see we are all on the same page. So what exactly is a portfolio career? So a portfolio career is basically earning from more than one skill intentionally. So assuming, for example, you have maybe, let's say, for example, your, what skill can I use? Maybe you're a graphics designer. So from that skill of designing graphics, you're able to later develop another skill of editing. People start coming to you to teach them how to edit, maybe their videos or their content, whatever the case may be. You develop another skill from there. Maybe tomorrow someone tells you, but how exactly can I handle my content? You know, I want to go on social media and things of that sort. You become a social media strategist or content strategist. So that skill again opens another door for you to get into advisory or consultancy work. So you see, so it is like one skill compounding to another and another and another to open different sources of income for you. So that is basically what a portfolio career is. You're not scattered, you're structured. So this approach brings peace and not pressure because it honors both your calling and your capacity, what you're able to do. So in a nutshell, that is what a portfolio career is. Okay, so as we look at our next slide, I want us to look at the difference between what a portfolio career is versus a side hustle, because I'm pretty sure someone maybe within the audience might even ask themselves, okay, but if she's telling us a portfolio career is basically you using your skills, you know, to build other different sources of income, then what about a side hustle? So somehow someone might think they are the same, but they're actually different. So what is the difference between the two? So one of the key things here that I want you to know is that side hustles are usually often random and reactive to immediate opportunities. So they are born from urgent financial pressure rather than being intentional. And it also frequently leads to exhaustion and burnout over time. It doesn't have any long-term vision or strategic direction, and it's more task-based. Whereas with a portfolio career, it's deliberately intentional and thoughtfully planned because you're using your skill, your existing skill, to build your next source of income. So it's built on sustainable skills that grow over time. It respects life seasons and personal capacity. It creates lasting security and flexibility, and it's focused on strategic sustainability. So as we said, the side hustle is more of pressure because now you need to make sources of income. You don't know where to start. So probably you'll go there into farming. You'll maybe open up a boutique here. You'll open a salon here, because now those are already heavy jobs. Those are already how can I say, they're already task based, whereas with a portfolio career, it's more of you just using what you already have without even necessarily having to maybe put in any starting income for you to actually start earning from it. Sometimes it can be as simple as using just your mouth to talk to people, and you're already making your money. And then it is from that now other people or other sources begin to come in from that, basing on also the demand from the market. So side hustles are not really bad, and I'm not also here to condemn them or to say that you shouldn't do them or what. No, they are all okay, because these are all different ways for you to make money. However, the only difference is that most of the times they may not really have that intentional strategy or respect for seasons, and that means burnout becomes inevitable. So side hustles are more on the survival side, and portfolio careers are more of sustainability, because we are looking at skills that compound over time and that are going to help you continue to make money over time. All right, so I had previously shared my story, but let me just share it with you in a nutshell over here. My own journey. Sorry for that. So, as I had previously introduced myself, I said that my main background is in human resources management. However, before that, I was all over the place. I hadn't yet found my calling, not until I started working as an HR professional, and that was in India. I worked there for over close to 3 years, and that experience exposed me, of course, to different cultures, different systems, different ways of working. And then later, when my contract got done, I had to come back to Uganda, and somehow, somewhere, I was confused. I didn't know what to do or where my next step was going to come from. So I thought I was going to start from scratch. But fortunately, because I'm also very active on platforms like LinkedIn, my boss then discovered me and found from my profile that, I had been working in a huge tech organization in India, which is popularly known in India. It's called Tata Consultancy. There's also a branch here in Uganda. And so when he saw that, he immediately just got captivated and he reached out. He was like, can we have a call? We did. And the following week, I had my offer letter. And then that's how I transitioned to technical recruitment. So that is, again, another phase of HR, but now here I became more niched, meaning I was working specifically with tech people, dealing with softwares and all of that. So I was more recruiting them and handling the whole entire process for them. However, even while I was doing recruitment for quite some time, at some point I kept asking myself, okay, but what next? What next? Because I'm this kind of person who is always inquisitive. I'm always looking for other ways to put my skills and my experiences to use. And somehow, somewhere, I felt like now this position started shrinking me the more, especially with the different layoffs we were facing, the budget cuts, because we were recruiting for a big client. And so a lot of my work was already starting to become reduced, and also my salary, unfortunately, was being dictated by my boss. They even had to cut off a certain percentage because of some of the challenges we were going through. So it was from this experience that really pushed me, and I started thinking of, okay, what else can I do? How else can my skills maybe be able to actually help me transition? And it was now from this that even when I used to do recruitment, people used to reach out to me and they were like, but Nicole, can you look at my CV a bit? Maybe can you tell me, is there any mistake that I've made? How can I position myself for the next position? Things of that sort. And now I started using my recruitment skills to tell them more about how to stand out for the job market. And within a year, little did I know that that became another skill from my main job. So now that led me to now becoming a career coach, and I was able to form my own company called Kazini Consults, where I've been handling career coaching for the past 3 years from that skill. And now it is through that same skill that last year I now started transitioning now to portfolio lifestyle, meaning I'm now using different skills to help me build different sources of income. So from last year, I was able to start building my other skills in terms of public speaking. Last year, I was invited across 6 different stages, different places, and some of them paid me, so that became another source of income for me. Outside that, I also started Amazon. There's a business of selling books that are not even your own books on Amazon, and I'm also creating passive income from that. I already have like 20 books already set up on my Amazon account. So now it is from these same skills of recruitment, HR, that are now transitioning me to these other different spheres that are enabling me to make money, even without having to depend necessarily on full-time 9-to-5 corporate jobs. So you see, so that is the beauty about harnessing your skills. And the reason as to why I'm sharing this is because right now, like I said, we are in those challenging times whereby, a lot of things happen across the world. A lot of transitions keep happening. And so at the end of the day, even the way we have been doing things of just applying for the next job, CVs and all of that, those kind of traditional ways of looking for jobs are kind of phasing out in 2026, because now we have AI as well coming in. So at the end of it all, what is going to help you to still be able to stand out in the market, or how are you going to be able to make income, right? So what helps you are your skills. Your skills come into play. And this is what I've been able to see happen for me since 2023. So as I share with you this experience, I'm sharing it basing on my own journey and what I've been able to witness so far throughout. So this is not just something that I just woke up one morning and then I'm now here sharing with you guys. It's lived experience. So in case if you have any questions, please feel free to keep dropping them in the chat, and I'll be sure to respond to you at any one point in time. But I hope that we are on the same page. I hope what I'm sharing is making sense. Can I maybe have anyone in the audience to give me a thumbs up, or to just unmute and tell me if we're on the same page, or if any part is confusing? Okay, I can see some emojis there. Thank you so much. Great. So as we proceed to our next part, I want to share with you a small framework here that is one of the tools that has really, really helped me harness this transition that I'm in of the portfolio world. And this is none other than the 3S framework. What exactly is this framework? This framework is about identifying what you already have, to help you discern how to build your unique skill with wisdom, intention, and sustainability. So what does the first S from the framework stand for? It stands for strengths. What are some of your strengths? So this is where you get to uncover your natural gifts. This is where you start from. What are those things that you do with ease, maybe that others struggle with? For example, for me right now, if you woke me up to tell you about the job market, even if I wake up from my sleep right now, I'll be able to tell you, because it's something I'm passionate about, and it's something I do with ease that I've gotten to grow over time. So what are some of those things that come naturally to you? Maybe have other people noticed those same strengths about you? What are some of those areas where you consistently perform well without even feeling pressure? How have you been able to identify those skills as your core foundation? So when you take your time to reflect on these strengths, that is where you're going to start building your portfolio career from. Now, one key thing that I want to emphasize on here is that portfolio is not all about starting so many things at once, like how a side hustle is. You want to start maybe farming here, bakery there, I don't know, salon business here. You want to do all those things at once because you're looking for money. But with portfolio careers, it is a bit slow, it is a bit boring, but it helps you build one skill that helps you become good at it, which will now open for you that door to transition to other things. So it's more structured and more organized compared to you just being all over the place. Then the second S is service. So when we identify your skill or that strength that you're already good at, what is going to be the next step for you? The service. Why does this matter? Because we need to know, can that skill help you actually solve real problems? Yeah, because we don't want again to develop skills whereby when we go out in the market, we are not able to, nobody even wants to purchase your service or your product, so that means you're wasting time. So we need to be very intentional. Can your skill solve a real problem? Can your strength be able to help you provide value where it is needed or fulfill a desire for someone else? If the answer is yes to that skill that you've identified, then that means that is something you can be able to monetize. And tomorrow, that skill that you monetize will now open for you the door to other different skills, which will also, of course, compound your income. And then the other third S is season. Now, I want you to pay close attention to this third S. Yeah, because this is where a lot of people make mistakes. As you identify your skill, and then you identify the problem that you're solving, the third thing is season. Look at the timing. Align your skills with the season. Why? Because not every skill is going to work in every season. You need to know the season that you're operating in. This is going to help you be able to decide and make better informed decisions. For example, right now we are now in January. You cannot start talking about Christmas. Christmas ended last year. Maybe unless for people who are not based in Uganda or in Africa, for example, now like in Russia, they celebrate their Christmas in January. There, if you're in other different parts of the world, it will make sense. But right now in Africa, where we are right now, you cannot start talking about Christmas because that has already passed. It was in December. So you see, look at the season. Maybe currently you're going through, for example, transition of probably you're expecting, you're expecting, for example. I wouldn't advise you to get into something that is again going to drain too much of your time and your energy. Why? For example, maybe assuming you want to go into farming or you want to go into, some heavy manual jobs, and you're expecting, that is not the season for that. In that season, you're going to need something much more calmer, much more slower. Also, that is not going to put your health at risk as you're expecting. So you see, so we have to align our skills with our services at the right season. That is how we are able to make money. But when we just scatter these skills at any time, any season, to whom it may concern, then at the end of the day, you're going to get frustrated very fast when maybe the kind of income that you're trying to build is not really coming in the way you were expecting. But the issue was you did not align yourself properly with the season that you're in. So we need to ensure that you keep that in mind. So this is what the 3S framework stands for. Your strengths, getting to discover your skill, and then your service. Does it help you solve a real problem? And then in which season are you aligning yourself with? So like right now, the year is starting. Of course, people are thinking about setting new career goals, maybe looking for a new job, maybe promotion and all of that. So it makes sense for me right now to start talking about career-related things because I'm aligning myself with the season. Okay, I can see some comments here in the chat. Okay, I see a good question here. Can I mix strength with passion, or should I only focus on what brings in money? Wow, this is a good question from Victoria. I'm going to get into questions. I think maybe towards the end, so that there I do not also take too much time, but this is a very good question. Catherine, just please help me to take note of some of those questions. I'm going to respond to them.
All right.
Okay. Okay. So now this is the part where I want to do just a small live demonstration. So as we have looked at that framework, and we've also understood what exactly a portfolio career is, I want us to demonstrate this framework in person, and just to help us also understand the concept way better. So I don't know, I would love to request if we can just have one volunteer in the audience. If you could maybe just raise up your hand. I just need one volunteer that I can use for this demonstration for the rest of us to learn. Let me see if just one person, if you can. Okay, Priscilla. Yes, Priscilla, thank you so much for volunteering. If you can maybe unmute yourself and just, I want to use you as an example for the rest.
Yes, you're welcome, Nicole. Good evening.
Okay, good evening. Okay, so Priscilla, I'm going to use you as a demonstration here, just to kind of bring this framework to life. We've talked about the strength, the service, and the season. So personally, Priscilla, I want us to start with the first S. Yeah, can you tell me what is your strength, for example? What are those, what are you naturally good at? And what do people consistently tell you excel at? If you can just give me one strength that you have.
I find it easy, like uplifting someone, instilling hope, helping, giving a helping hand, and being there for someone. And then people tell me, okay, if someone finds it easy to approach me, to open up for guidance, just out of the blue, someone comes to me and shares their issues. And then one or the other, by God's grace, I'm able to help.
Okay, great. So basically you help to, if you can just break that down a little bit more clearly. You said people come to you to help them, you listen to their problems, if I get you correctly?
Yes. Give advice.
Okay.
And stand in and help where I can financially, give emotional support, or even spiritual. If it's a prayer matter, it's a matter that needs prayer, I offer that. Yeah, so I find it easy to help, talk to someone, to encourage. To motivate. Yes.
So in other words, you're approachable in case if I have any issue and maybe it's confidential, the person that I'll reach out to is Priscilla.
Yes.
Okay, got it. That's an amazing strength. So how do we translate that strength to a service? Or how does that strength now become a skill that we can actually use to turn to a service? So from that skill of you being good at, someone easily reaching out to you for assistance, opening up, you're able to advise, that can later help you transition that strength to a skill. In the skill world, that you can become an advisor. In the skill world, you can become a consultant. In the skill world, you can become a counselor because somebody obviously reaches out to you. People are having issues and all of that. Do you see how your strength is now transitioning to become a skill already in the service part of the framework?
Yes.
Yeah? So, meaning if you're someone who people constantly reach out to, that becomes an easy strength for you to monetize tomorrow. So tomorrow, assuming, for example, maybe I'm having issues with my finances and I need someone to help me maybe be able to budget or to plan, and you're good at helping me solve problems because you help me see my challenges, you're able to uplift me up. Tomorrow you can become an advisor for me. That is also a skill that organizations need. Tomorrow you become an advisor for them, you become a consultant, and that is a skill that can be able to help you monetize. Is it making sense? I hope it's making sense for everyone. Priscilla, are we on the same page?
Yes, Nicole.
So now when we come to the S, the last S of the season, so if we have identified that our strength is people naturally come to me because I'm good at, helping them solve their problem. Now, as we transition to the second S of the service, I can help you now be able to solve your problem as a consultant. You come to me, you pay me, I solve your issue. Now, as we transition from the service to the third S of the season, how can this be monetized practically? You have to look at your current season. Are you currently maybe dealing with, are you currently maybe in a 9 to 5? For example, Patricia, what's your current season like right now? Are you in a 9 to 5? Are you engaged somewhere? What's your life like?
I'm in a 9 to 5.
Okay. And how is the nature of your 9 to 5? Is it those busy ones that, always demand too much of you, or is it one that can give you some fresh air to breathe on?
In this one, I'm an administrator. So I'm into administration and human resource management.
Yeah? Okay. I hope it makes sense for the rest of the ladies. You can just drop it. You can drop your response in the chat just for me to know that we are all on the same page. Yes, it makes sense. Okay, thank you so much. This is true. Okay. I need one because I'm in stage of editing CV. Okay. She can use the weekends to help clients or offer her services. Yes. Thank you so much, Charity. Yes, it does make sense. It makes sense. Very nice. So you see, I love even that response that Charity has given you. So basing on your busy schedule right now, Priscilla, I would advise for you now to monetize your skill. You can decide to offer your service like on weekends, on those days when you're not too busy, so that it aligns with your current season. Or the other hand can also be is to start with just one person, let one person pay you for your time, for your skill, and that now makes it easy for you to fit in your current income producing skill in your current season. So there you're not doing too many things at the same time. I hope that makes sense for everyone.
Yes, it does. This I've been doing it like it. I think it's a natural trait, but now how do I start now monetizing it? I don't have any structure. I don't like. I'm just learning of this now.
Great. I'm happy that it has made a lot of sense for you on how you can be able to start. So as we proceed, I would love us to transition to the next slide. So I want us to just talk a little bit more on how some of your skills can become income, especially when we look at the portfolio side versus the side because you're good at talking to people. People always find it easy for you to come to them. You explain to them their problems and all of that. So how can this skill transition to become a portfolio skill? Through communication, that can translate to training. Your same skill of communication can translate to facilitation. It can translate to speaking. It can translate to onboarding support, which relates to your current HR job. So these skills already now, as we can already see, these are already monetizable skills, because tomorrow someone can pay you to come and train them, to facilitate for them, to speak at their events, or to even handle their onboarding. If they're having issues with their current recruitment. So your current skill of communication can be able to translate to these different monetizable skills in the portfolio world. And as we look at the side hustle, these same skills under communication would translate to tutoring. For the side hustle, we have seen very many tutors here. Random workshops, you're just handling different kinds of workshops, maybe at schools and all of that, because you need to survive. We have also, during the holidays, we have these teachers who come and they coach your children at school, at home for the holiday package. That's a side hustle. Those are side hustles. Now, when we look at, for example, another skill such as organization and planning, those are, again, very, very common soft skills that we have seen. How can those be able to translate to monetizable skills under the portfolio world? As you shift to the portfolio world, organization can translate to operational support, just like what you're doing, Priscilla. It can turn to project coordination. It can turn to workflow setup. That becomes a portfolio skill. This same skill of organizing is already opening for you the doors to handle operations, to handle project coordination, to handle workflow setup. And these are monetizable skills. As we look at the side hustle side, these same skills of organization and planning are what a lot of people called, so many people are doing virtual assistantship. That is a side hustle. Handling different admin tasks for the business, that is a side hustle. I hope we are able to get the difference between these two. Side hustle and portfolio. When we look at the third skill, people support and listening, you're just there to listen to people. How can that skill be able to translate to a portfolio skill? Through problem support, you're able to become a career advisory, just like what I'm doing. I'm listening to some of your challenges, and I'm now turning that to a skill, meaning I'm advising you on your career path. And that is a skill that I can monetize. And I monetize, right? That same skill will later turn into facilitation for an organization, mentoring for organizations. That has come from the same skill of people support. And that is what portfolio career is all about. It is structured, it is organized. On the side of side hustle, it is informal coaching without any structure. You're just coaching people or you're training people, but there's no clear structure of what next it's going to lead you to. I hope these two differences make sense for you guys. Let me see. Hopefully we're on the same page. If you can just type for me in the chat, are we on the same page? Yes or no? Okay. Charina here says she falls in organization and planning. Great. You've now seen how your skill can be able to translate. Okay. Yes, please. Maria, Charity. Okay, great. Thank you so much for that response. Okay. So I'm not going to share with you all the different skills, but at least from this table, I think we are already able to just get a sense of that. of the different categories. So as we proceed, I want to take up this opportunity to also go a bit further and give you examples of people who are actually in the portfolio world, but maybe may not even be aware that they are in it, but they actually are. So I have examples here of 3 different ladies. I had to take my time and, do some small research here and there to be able to bring this explanation to life for you. So the first person, I think you people already know her. She's, the lady of the day, the lady of this amazing space that we are having here, and that is none other than Catherine Sempebwa. When I got to know about Catherine last year, I got to discover her from YouTube. And then later it was from YouTube that I picked interest and I joined her bootcamp program last year. And now when I get to I took time, and, researched a bit about her and all of that. And then I got to realize that, she's actually in the portfolio world already. Why? Because first of all, she is more than just one thing. She is a wife. She is a mentor to us, the single ladies. She's a prayer coach. She was praying with some of us last year. She's a writer. We have been able, some of us have purchased her book and we have read it, from that skill, and it's actually amazing. She's even now a speaker, because holding this, obviously, you have to be able to speak. You have to be able to have that confidence to gather people up and to listen to you. So all of these different things, she's a YouTuber, content creator. So she has already used one skill of her, maybe, let me say the central skill here is communication. That communication skill has led her to becoming a speaker. It has led her to becoming a prayer coach, praying for us, advising us, the single ladies. It has led her to become a writer. She has written a book about it, So you see, one skill has already multiplied for her in different angles that probably she might not even have been aware of. Catherine, maybe you can tell me.
I wasn't aware, honestly. So I've also learned something, especially the fact that it's communication. Okay, I've learned something. Just now I've learned. Thank you.
You're welcome. So yeah, so from her, she already has those different kinds of skills that are already blended. So in case if she wants to still continue she went off. Who here knows Sylvia Mulinge? Who knows who she is? Can someone just type for me in the
Sorry, I'm
chat?
back. I don't know what's happening. My network is struggling.
Okay, no issues. Yes, so I was asking the ladies and even you exactly. Do you know who Sylvia Mulinge is?
I do.
Her, like what do you think has made her so popular that almost most of us know her? Because a lot of us usually don't pay attention to so many different company CEOs, but why have we paid attention to Sylvia, especially ever since she became the CEO? What do you think, Catherine? In your own opinion, why do you think she's known by so many people? She's all over the place.
Me, I think she's a wise and strategic leader. That's what I think. That's what I see. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. Anyone else here? Can someone tell me in the chat, why do you think she's known the way she's known? Okay, someone says here she's down to earth and relatable. Okay, she engages, she shares real life despite being up there. She's relatable, she's wise. She's a believer, a great leader. Great. And these are character traits that you don't really find in a lot of CEOs of different organizations, right? But now the key thing here is what I want to emphasize on, the reason why, again, many of us even know her is because she is a lady. There's one thing that Catherine said, is that she's a wise strategic leader. What does that mean? She's a lady who has learned to harness her skills in the portfolio world, and that's why she's known like that. Because she's not just a lady whom you're going to find behind the CEO seats of MTN. You'll find her in community, doing community work. YouTube, she's there. Different conferences, speaking engagements, you find her here. I listened to some of her talks on some of those different conference stages. This is someone whom you find almost in so many different angles. Why? Because she has been able to use her skills over time of communication, of people management, to help her expand her skills to be in these different places. And that is what has dominated her leadership. So this is someone who did not just jump randomly just from one place and she appeared out of nowhere. No, she has been able to build her skills over time. When it comes to YouTube, you see her there. When it comes to being a CEO, handling such a huge CEO, she's there. When it comes to community work, charity, whatever the case may be, she's there. Why? Because she has been able to harness her skill in the portfolio world that has opened for her these different branches. The other person is Manuela Mlondo. I'm pretty sure also for the Ugandans, of course, who are here with us right now, she's also another public known figure. And now she's friends with Sylvia. These are people who are utilizing their portfolio skills. She has her company, her child center. What is it called? I'm forgetting the name.
The Credo.
It's slipping off my... thank you. From the Credo, what else does she have? I think she also has, is it a PR agency together with her husband? She's also a speaker. She's a trainer. She's this, she's that. She has been able to hold a huge conference on her own last year, dominate as a woman. How do you think she was able to do all of that? This is someone who is in the portfolio world. She's using her skill, which has now transitioned to those very many different seeds to help her build her empire. So that is how the portfolio world exists. Its structure is structured. It's intentional. It opens for you doors over time. It transitions for you in those different seasons, and it helps you become better at what you do. I hope these examples make sense. Catherine, I hope you've now been able to also get sense of you yourself, because you're already an example among these ladies.
Yeah, I'm even coming for a one-on-one. Let's continue.
Great. So let's proceed to the next testimonial here. So there is someone here that I also have. This is a lady as well that I've worked with now for quite some time, and I'm so happy and grateful to see where her journey is now transitioning her into. So this is someone who has been working in the banking industry for over a decade, 10 years. Sorry for that. 10 years. And later, she, of course, she felt a bit stuck because now she had been in the bank for all that time, and she wanted to leave, and she didn't know what else to do, what else her skills would help her with. And so during that vulnerable moment, we got to have those discussions, helping her to identify what her strength was. And she got to realize that one of her strengths was food, nutrition, because she's one person who can look at your plate and tell you, here you've not done well, here there's too much carbs, here there's this, that. So she helps you kind of organize your plate to kind of help you be able to eat right and live healthy. And I was like, okay. And she did that for me, and I was able to lose weight in like, I think 2 or 3 weeks. I saw my weight kind of shrinking down, but I was also becoming like very very intentional and taking my health more seriously. Now from that from that, she decided now to transition and become a nutrition coach. And so she has now been working with different ladies, for the past 2-3 years as a nutrition coach. As we speak, from now, the same skill of her helping women become better, make healthier choices and all of that, she has been able to build other skills through nutrition, such as finance, because from her background of finance, she's now learning about money. Personally, even me, I'm very disorganized with my finances. She's one person who has helped to even put me in check when it comes to my finances. How do you budget, Nicole? Here, this is how you're supposed to save, blah, 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 and all of those things. She goes into those nitty-gritties. From that same skill, she has been able to get into real estate. And I was like, wait, what? Are you serious? From real estate now, she can look at a building and she's able to tell even better than the engineer, here you've made a mistake, do this, redo that, and all of that. And I was like, what? Okay. And that is a skill that she has even started monetizing. From that, she's now transitioning also to life coaching, because she's a married woman, and so she's able to give other singles advice, when it comes to, of course, getting into that world of marriage and all of that, because she has been happily married now for the past 10 years plus. So this is someone who was stuck a decade ago in her banking job. She didn't know what to do, how to transition. She hadn't really discovered herself. And so when we started working, her brain expanded. She got into nutrition. From nutrition, she has gotten into real estate. She has gotten into finance, and her skills just keep expanding day by day like that. So that is how the world of portfolio, that is how portfolio careers work. So when we get to work together, I help you expand and just see beyond what you're actually thinking of, so that your skills can be able to diversify for you in different income angles. So she's one of the people that I've worked with, and I'm so happy to see how her journey has evolved over time. So now I want to throw a question to you guys. With everything that we have learned so far, I just want you to type for me in the comments, or if someone can also help me and unmute. I want you to tell me, what path are you currently on, basing on everything that we have discussed so far? Are you on the portfolio side? Are you intentional? Are you skill-based? Are you structured? Are you aware of your different seasons? Or are you on the side hustle side? You're kind of scattered, you're driven by immediate pressure, you're often exhausted, and there's a lot of uncertainty in where you're in your current season right now. What path are you operating on? Okay, I can see some hands up. Jean, maybe you can unmute yourself and tell us what season you're on right now.
I'm definitely on the portfolio path, although I will need help to structure myself, but definitely the portfolio path.
Okay. Why do you think so? Like, just give me a little context. How are you using your skills right now for you to determine?
Right now, I'm using my skills primarily at work. I'm not using them outside of work. And so, yeah, that's where I'm at. And now I think I can start to look at monetizing my skills outside of work.
Okay, great. I love that. We have, is it Samsung? I don't know what name is there, Samsung? Maybe you can unmute.
Hello, thank you so much, Nicole. I am grateful I got onto this call, just a random reading through LinkedIn. I think I'm on the portfolio side. The testimonial that you have just shared excited me very, very much. Personally, I work for an organization and I'm a global development strategist. But looking at the things you have been describing, I think I've been married for 19 years. So when you spoke about that lady, I talked to women, to young girls about life, how they can get into marriage and something like that. I'm a parent of 5 children. I've written a book on parenting. I am into business, cold room value addition and all that. I am into training. I have a company that is called Empower Nations Initiative. We train farmers, we train youth, we train ladies on how to start and manage businesses. I've been small scale, but I should say we need a one-on-one, but I think I fall in the portfolio side. Thank you, Kathy, for this call. It was timely.
Can I say something small? Samsung SM, I
Yes.
don't know who she is. Kindly send me a DM. I don't know if you have my number, but
Let me send it. Sorry,
just tell me.
I forgot to change the name. Let me send you a message.
Just send me hi.
Okay.
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 Thank you, Nicole. Go on.
Okay. Wow, thank you so much. I'm really honored to hear your story. I'm happy that some of you guys are already identifying yourself already on the portfolio side. Okay. Priscilla, if you could also share with us.
Thank you, Nicole. Now, for me, I have a background of accounting and finance. Graduated, went into the job search, but all this while I've not been like fortunate to land on an accounting job. Secondly, okay, I've been into gigs, marketing, promoting, sales, and all that throughout now 5 years. Now, after that, I went into tech. I went for a tech course, like product management. After tech, now I'm into administration and human resource management. That's what I'm doing now. But in my free time, I have a school I go to. I mentor young girls in primary, instilling hope in them, encouraging them to excel, empowering them. So, and I've been thinking of getting a side hustle, but now I'm seeing it is more of portfolio. So I'm in this state. All this while I've been trying to identify myself. Who am I? Like, what's my purpose, my calling? Like, I've been doing a lot of things, like a busybody, but I've not had satisfaction. But I feel like I'm more of the other end, talking, speaking, stealing hope, encouraging, uplifting. But again, when you talk, when with this message of having diverse sources of income, I was thinking maybe I should have a side hustle. But again, I'm not this kind of the task, the doing hard things, being there, that task beat for her side hustles. I feel like I don't fall there. I'm more of this side of portfolio career. So I thank you, Nicole, for enlightening us. And I know by the end of this session, I will have gotten where I fall. Thank you. But also, I need your guidance, like advise me. Thank you.
Sure. Wow, thank you so much for for sharing your experience. I'm so happy to hear that. Okay, so I'm not going to take too much time here. I think some of the messages in the chat, I'll read them a bit later. Penny, if you could just summarize yourself a bit. So I'll give the three of you a chance, Penny, Daphne, and Shanice, but summarize a little bit so that we're not also taking too much time.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Nicole, for this time. Actually, I'm in the process of asking myself a lot of questions. I've been in banking. I've lifted my hand because of that, the last testimonial, because I related with her. I've been in banking for quite some time now, and I feel stuck. And I've been from the beginning of the year, I've been asking myself, is it, to when? I'm going to do this until when? And I've been in a journey of, just trying to think about the skills and how to combine them in a way that I can actually free myself, because I want freedom. 9 to 5 doesn't give you the freedom that you need. And I need my time. I need to focus on other things instead of sitting on a desk the whole day. Yeah, and it's also quite very stressful. So I need something that is a bit, I did not know about portfolio career. I was wondering, okay, do I go to side hustle? What do I do? What do I do? Do I need to move? Yeah, that kind of a thing. But yeah, I think I'm getting clarity as days go by.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing, Penny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Daphne, I'll give you the chance as well. Just be
Good
brief.
evening,
Shanice as
ladies.
well. And then, yeah. Good evening.
Good evening. Praise God. For me, I don't. I think I've had quite quite a lot of experiences that I don't even know where to focus now. Currently, I'm in the UAE. I left home. When I was home, I was an administrative secretary at St. Lawrence. And when I came this side, I became a bus conductor after I became a sales associate. And right now, I'm still a sales associate. Like, I don't know which skill to focus on, like which I don't know which one is very, very meaningful to me. Like I don't know the current side I'm on, whether but maybe I'm on the portfolio, maybe I'm on the side hustle. Really, I don't know, my dear. Also, I need clarity, like also direction. Yeah, for me that is my problem now. Thank you, Nicole, and thank you, Miss Catherine, as well.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for sharing that. I'll also answer some of the questions as well towards the end. So no worries.
Okay.
Yes, Shanice.
I praise God, everyone.
Praise him.
Amen.
Yes. So me, I'm on the side hustle part, right? First, I graduated in business administration. I love business, so every opportunity that comes my way, I hope on it. I'm a teacher, primary teacher, so I teach, but in holidays I don't have what to do, so I end up being idle. So what I decided to always be doing is focusing on my side hustle business. I do sell kids clothes, right? But I sell them online, keep on posting, then sell them, deliver them, and all that. Yeah, I think I need some clarity on how to on my strength in a not in the side hustle part. I think I'm more of a side hustle person. So I need to get more knowledge on how to handle the other strengths of me, how to deal with my skills, how to handle my skills, how to earn from my skills. I don't know what my skills are. Yeah, that's it.
Hey, all right. Thank you so much for sharing. So I can see from what you've already shared, I know that is even some of the questions already that a lot of the people have in the audience, but not to worry. I'll answer definitely some of these questions as well towards the end. I'll just read a few comments here in the chat before we proceed. I think someone here is saying, I am good at influencing and coordinating. I use my communication and organizational skills. I do mentorship. Oh, I think I've bypassed it. I do mentorship for ladies. Okay, I do mentorship for ladies and women in leadership and at church too. I need to structure this out and start earning money. Okay, as a portfolio career. Wow, nice. Nice. We need more of her time, Banange. This was timely. I needed this. Thanks, Mrs. Sempeva. Okay, nice. Okay, great. Okay, so I can see some of you are already identifying yourself on the side hustle side. Some of you are already identifying yourself on the portfolio side. But not to worry, I'm here to support where necessary. So at the end of the day, I want you to know, I think one of the main key things here that I want to point out is that I love the fact that you're already taking the time to reflect, to notice where you are, where you're falling and all of that. And I want you also to know that there's no issue whether you're on the side hustle side or whether you're on the portfolio side. At the end of the day, this session is about expanding you, because we are looking at, different ways of how we can be able to utilize our skills to earn money. So even if you're already on the side hustle side, like some of the ladies who shared their experiences, I already saw from some of the skills you were sharing, you're already on the side hustle path, but you can equally also earn even on the portfolio side. So that is the beauty about it. But we'll get to, of course, dissect more of these as time goes by. So thank you so much for sharing some of your challenges and where you are right now. So I want us to move to the next slide without taking too much time. I want us to look at some of the common mistakes that people make as they try to venture into the portfolio world, for example. So a lot of the times when we venture into this portfolio world, usually people make the mistake of wanting to do too many things at the same time. And this is a challenge that even me myself, I was able to recognize, because when I was just starting to discover my different skills, I thought that maybe, okay, since they're all aimed at, me making an impact or an income, I can, decide to just monetize all of them at once. And so I started doing so many different things at the same time, which caused a lot of overwhelm. And I was not able to give myself that chance and the opportunity of being better at one thing before I transitioned to the next. So there was a lot of chaos in my life, which is something that I know also so many people have found themselves in that shoe. You want to do too many things at the same time. But today I want to break out that myth and let you know that as you're building a portfolio career, you just need only one skill. Just start with identifying only one thing, just one thing like this that you're good at. And it is from that, how you plant a tree and later when it starts to grow, that's where the branches come in, the roots, the stem, and all of those things grow. That is how our portfolio is. So we will start with one and not be all over the place. The other mistake that so many people make is quitting too early, because you feel like, now if I abandon all these other things and then focus on only this one, what if it doesn't work out? And then what? That means I'm not good enough. So there you start comparing yourself with someone else. And, because of that comparison thing, you end up quitting too early without giving yourself that chance to first go further and learn and see how that skill is going to work for you in your season and serve you. We quit too early, and that's when you fail to get the results that you're looking for at the end of the day. The other is copying others. Because you've seen this one is maybe good at public speaking, you also think.
Yes, we can hear
We
you.
can. We're happy to have you back.
Thank you. Yeah, just having some connection issues, but let me share my screen again. Okay, just let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, I can.
Okay. Thank you so much for the confirmation. Okay. So I was explaining, I think we were on the slide of common mistakes that people make. So I'll just repeat this slide from the beginning. So what are some of the common mistakes that people make? Is wanting to do everything at once. Because from some of the questions and some of the things that some of you ladies were sharing in the previous slides, you have so many different skills. You've been doing so many different side hustles, and right now you're kind of stuck maybe where you are in your career, in your job. You want to leave. Some of you want to have other different sources of income, but you don't know where to start. And so because of that pressure, it's so easy to find yourself wanting to do so many things at the same time. And so the issue with that is when you do so many things at the same time, it doesn't give you the opportunity to refine what you're doing, to become better at what you're doing, to specialize in what you're doing. And so in the end, that's going to lead to overwhelm and poor results. And of course, even your finances get affected, because now who is going to want to pay for results that are not to the best of the standards of they are trying to do so many different things at the same time. The other is quitting too early. Just because I'm telling you to start with one skill does not mean that because now I do not have to do all these other different things, I'm going to miss out. No. When you start with one, it helps you become confident in that one. And it is through that one that you're going to transition to many others, which means your income is also going to multiply to those others. But when you quit too early because you're frustrated, you've not given yourself that time to adequately develop in your current skill, you end up quitting too early. And I've seen so many people quit early, and at the end of the day, they have not been able to achieve what they are looking for. The other is copying others. Just because maybe our leader here, Catherine, is a content creator, and then you've seen she's creating videos on YouTube, you think, oh, okay, even me, I can also do that. Immediately, you also jump on YouTube. My friend, do you know what she goes through to put those videos up? Do you know how much time she has to take to research, to edit, to do this, to do that, to prepare the scripts? You don't know anything. And so for you, you've just decided to go and copy because you think it's going to be easy for you. And what happens? Eventually you get overwhelmed, you get burnt out, because that was not your thing. That was not your skill. You copied someone else's skill. So how about giving yourself that time to first discover you, discover your strength, discover your skill, and then work with that. The other mistake that people also make is making fear-based decisions. You're acting out of panic, scarcity, pressure. You feel like, oh, if I don't jump on this trend, if I don't do this, if I don't do that, I'm going to lose out. And in the end, you end up not doing anything because of fear. Maybe you're dealing with comparison. You're seeing the other one looks better, but you're comparing their chapter 10 with your chapter 1. How are you expecting to get the same results like the other person? So one thing that I want you to know in this season, even as we combine it with our faith, God is not in us, is not a person of rushing, of making fast decisions. No, He takes time. He builds from a place of faith, patience, rather than panic and pressure. When you take that time to really do what you have to do, you see, when Catherine reached out to me concerning, coming to speak to you ladies, I think that was sometime last year, I was not really prepared. And in that time, my mind was scattered. It was all over the place. Why? Because I was doing different things at that time. And so I had not put myself in the right state for this. But then the beauty about it is that even when she reached out to me, and then I later gave her the confirmation, and she also reached out to me, I think that was sometime last week, as a reminder. I hadn't yet even started working on this whole entire presentation. I began to do this thing at the last minute, which of course is not something that I advise anyone, but personally for me, it worked. I needed that. Why? Because I needed to ensure that I'm going to pour this thing out from a place of clarity, from a place of impact, and not just rushing to randomly do things for the sake of doing things. And I feel that when I took my time to even come up with all this, God was able to give me better clarity on how to bring these things out. Because if I had brought these things the way I was intending to bring them earlier, it probably wouldn't have been like this. And that is how portfolio careers work. We take time, structure by structure, season by season, one skill at a time. So I want to share with you a common story. I don't know if some of you have heard about the story of the tortoise and the hare. Has anyone ever heard of this story before? Can I just have maybe any response in the chat, or can someone unmute for me and just tell me, have you heard about the story of the tortoise and the hare? Before we even go into details, can I have some responses here? Let me see. Yes, all my childhood, slow and steady wins the race. Yes, okay, great. So why did I actually I took time and I had to really think about, you know, what story can I actually share with you guys? And somehow, somewhere, I love the fact that the person whom I shared with you guys, that testimony of that lady, actually gave me this story. She was like, you know what, Nicole, use that story, the tortoise and the hare. And I remembered, and I was like, oh my God, yeah, that's a long time story that I used to hear way back at school. And so this was the best story that I could think of to share with you guys and relate it to the portfolio career and how they work. But before we do that, I can see Agnes's hand is up. Agnes, do you have anything to say? Hello, Agnes?
Yes, I'm saying a story about to share about the tortoise.
Okay. Yes.
Hello? About the tortoise.
Yes, I can hear you.
It's like the tortoise and the hare. The hare was the fastest and the tortoise was the slowest. So this one, it thought it could win the race. It could win the race because it's the fastest. But it reached in the way, it even slept to wait for this tortoise, which was slow. And when the tortoise found it sleeping, it didn't even. It just continued to the finishing line. This one wake up. By the time he wake up, he realized already this one had won. So that's how sometimes life is. You may think. Sometimes you may think of an idea of a business, and you're like, it's really, will it work it out? It's like it's a slow idea, but in the end, when you are patient, I believe it can work out. That's what I can share.
Wow. Thank you so much, Agnes. Like, you've literally shared the entire story. So you've practically done my job here. I don't think I need to do anything anymore. The story is already fully clear. Like, you guys are already aware about this. Wow. Thank you so much for that explanation, Agnes. Thank you so much. You've explained it well. So basically, what do we learn from the story of the tortoise and the hare? As they were competing, the hare, had all that confidence. For him, he started the race with all that full gear, and he thought he would be able to maintain the same speed until the finishing race. But somehow in the middle, he decided to take a rest because he knew, after all, I've left Mr. Tortoise very far. He cannot catch up with me. Only to his realization, by the time he wakes up from his sleep, Mr. Tortoise was already at the finishing line. So how do we relate this in our personal lives? Very many times we want to do so many things at the same time. We want to move so fast. We want to make money immediately, like tomorrow. But you forget that there's a process involving that for you to get to your finishing line. And so when you want to go through the short route, you want to go through that shortcut like Mr. Hare. At the end of the day, what happens? You crash. So with portfolio careers, take your time. One of the things that I've come to learn about success is that success is silent. Wealth is silent. It's not all over the place. Why? Because it comes from a place of clarity. It helps you be able to move in your season. You're able to think better. You're able to identify yourself better and move in that angle. And with time, it grows. it produces that fruits that you're looking for. So I hope from today's session, we will be able to walk out of
Nicole,
the session
I don't know if you can
as
hear
the
me.
tortoise and
Oh,
necessarily the hare. If you had joined this session with the hare mentality, hopefully we have been able to learn a thing or two to help us shift and become the tortoise. And
hi, Nicole. So we are back.
can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. Okay, so with the network really disturbing us, I'm going to try and wind up the remaining part as fast as I can. Okay. Okay, so as we've learned from the story of the tortoise, I want us to get to this next slide of what are some of the things that hold people back, because I'm pretty sure now as we get to this stage, we are now wondering, okay, how exactly do we start? What do I do and all of those things? But then again, there are some things that may also still be holding you back from, pursuing the portfolio angle. So what are some of those things? Fear because you're not sure, but will this thing really work for me? Is it for me? You have too much fear in you, and sometimes that can make you feel like you're not ready or you're not worthy of it. But at the end of the day, those all come from the mindset, which I would love to encourage all of us, to take up the opportunity, let go of fear, and let this be a year where you're actually ready to make those bold and intentional moves. The other is comparison. Do not compare your journey, your process, your story with someone else. Appreciate where you are right now, and that is what is going to help you be able to move on to the next step. The other is lack of clarity. I know some of you have already shared, you're having so many different challenges with, I have so many skills, I don't know where to start from, you're all over the place. Maybe you're in the side hustle world, you don't have clarity. Do not let that clarity hold you back from starting. The other is guilt. Guilt also holds people back from taking that step to pursuing the portfolio careers because you feel maybe you're wrong for desiring a non-traditional route, or you feel guilty for wanting more, maybe different sources of income and all of that. Do not let that guilt hold you back. So as I come to a conclusion, I just want to share a little bit from the Bible, and this is the story of the Proverbs 31 woman. I know we are all familiar with this. And somehow, somewhere, when I also was thinking a lot about the portfolio life, I looked at the Bible and I was like, which person here can serve as a good example of someone within the portfolio world? And this was the Proverbs 31 woman. Very many times, a lot of us are always saying, I want to be like that Proverbs 31 woman, but then how exactly was she able to do it? This was someone who was using so many different skills to be able to, she was able to work in seasons. She was not rushing. She used her different skills. She was able to build a skill, invest She was able to use wisdom to expand strategy into action, which helped her build a legacy, and her husband was even proud of her. So meaning she was able to use her skills to diversify and do so many different things. So when we compare her with our portfolio life right now, she was someone who was thinking within the portfolio angle. And this goes to show us this is something that has been there even way back during those days of the Bible. This was something that was already being practiced, but we just did not have a name to it. And now that, you know, with the constant changes of our work life, Gen Z is wanting different income options. This is how this name and concept was able to come to life. So as I come to a conclusion, I want to invite you all as part of joining this call. Thank you so much for being here, first of all, for taking the time to listen to me. So as I wind up, I want to give you guys a chance. I know there are some of you who have been having a lot of questions, asking, okay, maybe I'm going to need some support. Where do I proceed from? So this is how to get in touch with me. I'll share the link. So I'll give whoever proceeds, whoever is interested in going further, I'm going to offer a free 30 minutes consultation call. And in this call, we are going to go a bit deeper in helping you to identify what skill can act as your strength that can later become a monetizable skill as per the season. So this skill, this call is basically just for us to brainstorm where you currently are and, you know, to help you be able to get that clarity that you need. So as courtesy of, you know, having you ladies here and also Catherine inviting me, I'm going to be offering that free 30 minutes consultation call. And then after that call, in case if you still want to work further with me, then I have a monthly offer that I do support. So basically, this is just a monthly structure. Right now, I'm not too much deep into the coaching, deep in coaching. So this is a monthly support from me. It's at 150,000 or $41 per month. So here, when we have the free consultation call and you need now to go deeper in terms of now clarifying your skill, how exactly we are able now to ground it as per the season that you're in, as per identifying what kind of opportunities are there for you basing on the job market and how you can be able to monetize it. This is where I can be able to help you a bit more intensively. So this is how you can be able to work with me. I'll definitely leave the link in the chat, and I think I'll also share it with Catherine so that she can share with you ladies in the group. So that was it from me. I don't want to take too much time, but I just want to say thank you so much for the opportunity. Catherine, thank you so much for the invite and for having me over here. And yeah, that was it for the session. Thank you so much, ladies, again.
Thank you so much, Nicole. Let me first pause this.